Hello. Good evening. I'm trying to make sure that my Facebook Live is shared to the right group. And I'm hoping so because I can't find what I need. Bear with me for just a moment. Here we go. There we go. Yay! I'm here. I found it. Hey there. My name is Patience Holt and I live in Maumelle, Arkansas. And I'm doing a Facebook Live tonight to talk about color and contour. It is a stamp set that's been around for a while and it is carrying over to the new catalog. Yay! I'm excited about that. I have 3 cards I want to share with you, and we're going to make those cards tonight. But first of all, I want to tell you we do have a new catalog coming in, and it will be available to order from on May the 2nd. Now, being a demonstrator, I'm able to order from it starting the 3rd, a couple of days ago. So, I think, or the 4th. Tuesday. So 2 days ago, I was able to order, and very excited. We have a list of things that we can order early, so that we can get started on our samples that we make to show for our business. So I was able to order, and I got some stuff in today. Very excited. One thing I want to show you is the catalog. And I got that. Can't show you the inside yet. Hold on a second. Do that. I've got a glare. There we go. Get rid of the glare there. So I was excited and I tore into the catalog. So if you need a catalog, if you're not working with the Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator and send you a catalog. Now, if you have ordered with me for, if you've placed an order with me within the last year, you will automatically get a catalog. Now, it will be a catalog like this with no binding. I usually bind my catalogs because it just makes them easier. So, if you want your catalog bound, let me know that. There will be a charge for that. And it was probably looking at $7 or $8 this year. The place that I usually get them bound went up in price. So, as has everything. So, anyway, let me get that out of the way. So, new catalog. Tomorrow night, I will be going through the old catalog and showing you exactly what is retired. I have a catalog that I have marked up, and I'll show you exactly what's retired. If you're not quite sure, we're going to go over it. Now, the live will be about an hour long. So, be ready, or you can watch the video replay. I hope to have that out on YouTube as quickly as possible after I do it. So, let's go ahead and get started. Let me turn you down to my desktop and we'll get started on making some really beautiful cards with this stamp set. Okay, I've got a glare here because I have my catalog. Okay, hold on just a second. Let me pull this down. Let me get this down. It's a little bit closer so that you can see what's actually going on. All right. Let me get this to come down. Woohoo! There we go. Sorry about that. Let's see if I can get this down on my desktop. All right, that may be a little too close here. I haven't done a live in a while. Can you tell? So let me look in the index. I forgot to see what page Color and Contours on in the old catalog. I'm calling this old. It is still current. It's not old. It's this year's catalog. It just happens to retire at the end of the month. So on page 97 of your current Stampin' Up! Catalog is the Color and Contour stamp set. I have it highlighted in orange right there because that means I have it. That way I'll know. One thing I want to show you what I do is when I first get a stamp set in, I have a catalog that I tear pages out of. And I actually tear the page out that the stamp set is in. So this lets me know that Color and Contour and has coordinating dies. Now, we are going to use the dies. And it also lets me know the original price that I paid for the stamp set is $21. I believe I have it in the back cover as well. So that's just a little tip. You know, just, you know, for your bookkeeping, if you want to do it, that's the way I keep up with it. The coordinating dies that go with this, I actually have two sets because when you're cutting for classes and you're using the scallops, edges and, you know, the die cuts for the flowers, when you're using these things in bulk, it's easier for me, especially with these open frame, not so much the intricate because you have to stamp before you die cut. But these dies in bulk, I will produce multiples. That's why I need a couple of sets for those. So let's put those away. We will be using them. Okay, let me put them right here. Okay, the very first card we're going to make is this one. And it has scalloped edges here and here. And this card is what I'm calling your So Very Happy For You. So Very Happy For You card. It is a different card. It's a fun fold. Because normally when you make a card, you're doing the 4 1/4 by 5 1/4 and you just have that. But now we actually have another piece that we're going to add on. And I believe I have that all ready to go here in a packet. Now on this month's packet, if you place an order with me for $35 in my store, you will get this class for free. And this special is running through April the 16th. And I have another little special. If you spend $50 or more, you will get 48 sheets of Flowers and More. And this is a 6x6 sampling of Flowers and More. Now, this was a host paper. You could only get this if you spend $150 or more. And then you had to purchase it. But you can get, and it was also 12 by 12. And so what I have done is cut that into fourths, and you get a fourth of a pack of the host set. So for $50 or more spent in my store, you can get this as well as the embellishment that is going to go with this set. So let's get going. This is the card kit we're going to start with. Now, when you receive your card kit, you will also have a color PDF that will go with it. And it will tell you all the measurements of everything, and you will be good to go. All the measurements. Now, any special die cuts that are with the set, you will have to die cut those. I will not be sending any stamped images because that's against the policy. But now, if there's any additional die cutting, say perhaps I used a stitched circle on a particular card, I would send this because it's not part of the Color and Contour bundle. And I failed to mention that if you do get the bundle, if you order the stamp set and the die set together, you get a 10% discount. And that is not on every bundle, but on this particular one, yes. Now, I chose Color and Contour because I love the stamp set. To me, it's just so easy to create a real pretty card doing this. So let me put this circle back over here with this card kit. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to show you what I've done. What I will have measurements in the PDF, but I have a card base and I die cut using the scallop edge that's also in the die cuts, and then I have an extra one that I also scallop die cut. Now we're going to use our seal adhesive. Now you may want to use tear and tape, or you may want to use glue. I do switch out with the green all-purpose glue on occasion and use it, but for this particular card I'm using this. So I am going to put this edge down flush with this edge, because that way my card will open and will just look so good. And I'm putting this down first because the inside layer that I have will cover up this rough edge right here. I don't know if you can see it, but that edge is rough. And I believe the next layer will go down. This is Petal Pink. And I'm going to, if I can get it, there we go. Let's just do it this way. I accidentally got some glue right there. Let's get my glue off and just eyeball it and put it down in the middle. So you're going to have this folded in just like that. Now the next layer is stamped on. So we're going to be stamping on that, and that is right here. And then the layer that is going on the top, it is not die cut yet because we're going to die cut that together. So let's get started. I've already mounted my stamps onto the blocks that I named. I have lots of blocks because that was an investment. Every time I would place an order and have Stampin' Rewards, I would order a block. And so this just helped me because that way I would have the number of blocks I needed for different classes. Okay. Love it, love it. Now, also, I forgot to grab some grid paper. Let me grab one of those right quick. Here we go. Okay, here we go. I always forget something. So, all right. So here's my grid paper. So what I'm going to do is stamp this. I don't know if you noticed, the image that I'm stamping with doesn't have that extra bud at the top, but there are buds in there that you can add to. So I'm going to add the middle first, and I'm going to kind of do it this way. And I'm also going to do that. All right. So now there's another image stamp. It's with this bud. It has a stem on it. You can just sort of add to your bouquet of flowers here. These photopolymer stamps, you can see right through it. And let's see, put that one right there. I like it because it just, you can add to your flower arrangement. It just makes it look so good. Okay, so I think that's all the, nope. I'm going to do here. Also, if you're one to stamp your envelopes, this flower would be great to stamp on the envelope. Okay, so now I'm going to do some color. And I was going to let you know, I always publish a list of different things that you'll need in addition. I use the Old Olive blend, and when you stamp the color, you'll know what I'm talking about when it is a distinctive stamp. It does not color in all your image, and so I'm just brushing color on with this. I'm not coloring in the image, I'm just brushing. It's very light touch because it's a blend and an alcohol marker, and it definitely goes onto the paper really well. Now, I did not use thick basic white. And if I was doing just a plain card, okay, let me do this part too. If I was just doing a plain card and not mounting it onto another card base like the Orchid Oasis, I would use thick basic white, because when you use a blend, I don't know if you could tell, it bleeds through. But now the black part of the stamp did not. This is all the old olive. Okay, so I'm going to put one more stamp. I need the sentiment stamp. On the inside of that card, we have a sentiment. So very happy for you. So let me put that right here. And put the lid on the black so we don't get so messy. Now, the next color I want to use is Fresh Freesia. And I'm using that on the inside of the card as well as the outside. Now, here is a distinctive stamp. I don't know if you can see, but the stamp looks like it may have something on it. That is the distinctive part. They have, the artist, when they design that, they make it to where it's not gonna stamp full crisp. It's gonna make the artist's illusions of light and dark for you. So I like that. All right, now what I was talking about earlier when I was brushing on the color, this is distinctive and it does not line up perfectly because it gives you that brushed look. So let me put that away for a second. Now, I'm going to use Fresh Freesia on the middle flower, since that's the color I used on the inside. And let's just line that up best I can. Okay, now for the little bud, they even give you a stamp for that. Right there. So I put one bud on there. There we go. How is that? Now, do I have I have another one that's going to be that color. All right. So, also one thing I wanted to show you. In my classes that I hold in my home, I use a chamois. But when I'm at home creating cards, I use the Stamp & Scrub. And it has a mist that you can purchase. Now, this is an older bottle of mist, but I have a big refill bottle that I've put in there, and I've labeled this. It's just the wet side, and that's the dry side. Wet and dry. And I use this at home, and it's just easier for me to wash the stamp and dry it, and then when I'm ready to put it away, take it off of here, put it in my stamp case. So I use that, and it is carrying over to the new catalog. So if you need it, just absolutely order that. Okay, I need to go ahead and wash this because I'm going to use a different color with the same stamp. So I'm going to close Fresh Freesia, and I'm going to use Petal Pink. Now, Petal Pink was the layer that we used to put on the inside of the card. But I'm going to I'm going to stamp one of these flowers. Oops. There we go. The Petal Pink. Okay. And then I'm going to get that little bud again, wherever I put him. And I need to color the bud. Here it is. With the Petal Pink. Okay, and now the other color. Oh, they're both Petal Pink. I didn't notice that. So both of them are Petal Pink. So on either side was a Petal Pink. I forgot I had done that. So when I designed this class, it was a couple of weeks ago. So it's been a couple of weeks since I have looked at this. we go. All right, so now what I want to do is get my mini Stampin' Cut emboss machine, which they have a new one that's blue. And if you want the blue one, you can certainly get that when you place an order. You can get that, but you have to be a demonstrator. Let's see, can you order it if you're a demonstrator right now? I believe so. But now, and you can order things out of the new catalog, but only the ones that are on the pre-order list. Only the things on the pre-order list. Okay, so get my dies out. I'm going to use this die cut, and I'm going to get my plates that go with the mini Stampin' Cut emboss machine. Okay. And when you get your mini machine, you've got your instructions. You've got plate 1, plates 2, and then there is a plate 4. Plate 3, I'm not quite sure which one that is, but, oh, it's the gray one. Maybe the one I need to use. It is the gray one. Yay! Okay. Now, all these machines are made roughly the same time. Well, no. There's batches of these machines made, and the tightness in here when you run your plates through are different for every machine. So the whole premise is to use plate 1, put a number 2 down, put your paper down, put your die cut down, and then put a plate on top and run it through. Sometimes that works. Now for me, and plate number 4 is for a embossing folder. For me, the plate number 1 was not working well. So I started using plate number 3. And plate number 3 works just great for me. So 1 is always in the drawer, and plate 3 is the one I use. And another tip is how your plates get all scarred up. This one is really scarred. It used to be a plate on top. Now it's on the bottom because it's scarred up, and I don't want to get my paper all scarred up on the front. And so I'm going to put this paper in there, and I'm going to frame what I want to go on my card. So probably like right there. And then this is another number 2 plate, and it's really clear. I always put my clearer plates on top. So when this one gets scarred, I'll move it to the bottom and have a brand new plate for the top. So that way my plates end up looking really good. Now when you want to cut this, I've never had these even, because to me it feeds through easier like this. So if you hear snap, crackle, and pop like that, that's normal. Normal. It's just the tightness of my machine. Okay, so take this off. And there's our beautiful die cut. Isn't that so pretty? Yay! I'm so excited. Okay, so next on our card, I do have one more thing I need to stamp. I love the ink splatters that go here, and I use the ink splatters the same color as the card base, which is the Orchid Oasis. So I think the splatters just really make it so pretty. And it's full strength, and that means I didn't stamp off and then come back over and do it. It's just full strength. There we go. That's enough splatters. All right, so let's mount this on the inside of this card. Yes, this is going to be the front. Now we'll have all the measurements already done, and I will have them in a color PDF. So that's going to go there. So now I'm going to add this pretty ribbon This is Orchid Oasis ribbon. And what I'm going to do is wrap it around twice and then add a generous bow on one side. But I kind of cheat. I put a little bit of seal right there, and I do this to make sure it stays in place for me. Alrighty, and let me grab my ribbon scissors. Here's my ribbon scissors. I've been wanting these for so long. When I first joined Stampin' Up, I didn't see the value of those scissors, and I missed my opportunity to get them. So I've been looking for them and looking for them, and I was finally able to get my hands on a pair. A friend in Utah sent them to me, and so I was very, very excited to have them in my little stash of craft. Okay, so I have this popped up, so we're going to use the Stampin' Dimensionals and put one in each corner and one in the middle to help pop that up. And then we will add some iridescent adhesive back jewels, and our card will almost be done. So right there. All right, now let's see if I have enough ribbon to make a bow. I do. So I'm tying an air bow. So always on a card like this, I'm going to make it a generous blousy bow. There we go. And then I'm going to use the glue dots that were sitting right here. You know how you have everything you need in a space and it disappears? It's because I actually didn't bring it over to this side of the disc. Okay, so there we go. Use my dots. I always do this and pull it off. And I'm going to put that bow just to the side. Make sure that's staying on there. And then here's your card. This is Orchid Oasis with basic white. I've got fresh freesia and then petal pink. Open it up and I've got a petal pink base with basic white and just that same flower. Isn't that so pretty? Okay, so that was card number 1. Let me put that over here for the example. And then card number 2. I love card number 2. Now, card number 2 has a lot of layers to it. And it's just really pretty. You know what we didn't add to this? We did not add any jewels. So we're going to add jewels with this right quick. And I don't have my take your pick tool over here, because it's at my desk too. So I'm going to put that one down here. And let's get a big one and put it right here. There we go. That makes it look so much better. There we go. All right, now let's get going back to this card. All right, I have all the measurements you need for this as well in your card kit. And when you get your card kit, you'll be getting 2 cards of each design. So 6 cards in a kit, and they'll come like this. And everything will be in the envelope. I may have the card base folded for you already. Sometimes I do that for mailing ease. So what we're going to do on this one in particular, we're not going to stamp yet. We're going to go ahead and, this is my scrap. We're going to go ahead and layer this card up because I want to show you how to layer it. So I'll go ahead and get, these are done in 1/8 of an inch. Get the Orchid Oasis and layer it. And then the next particular layer is the one we're going to stamp on. So we're not going to layer it until after we've stamped. And see, the inside also has stamp on it. Yes. Okay. So this is going to be the one that we are stamping on. And then the bigger one will go inside this. We're stamping on all that. Okay. So this particular card says, "You're absolutely amazing." And then on the inside, I have those splatters with a few of the leaves, you know, with just part of the leaf. So I think it looks really good. It was fun to design, to come up with something like that. Okay, so on this card, we're going to be using Orchid Oasis first because we are going to make this flower and we're going to die cut it out. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and stamp this. Now, it has an outline and it has a filler. And you just have to, when you mount them onto a block, you have to kind of know how to put it on the block and line it up. These do not fill in. They just, you know, it's a watercolor look, so it's not a fill in. So now this is also a distinctive stamp. So it will have some light and dark. Let me see which way it's gonna go. There is a way, I believe. I'm not really sure. Let's see. I think the double goes there. I did put them on the block where I would see. I hope I don't get my hair in your way. Let me see. Okay. I think this will work pretty good. Nope. There are two that go together. It would have helped if I'd marked them up right. Let's see. I did put them on the block. Right there. There we go. Notice because the blue that's on it. There we go. Now, you still have an outline, and then it's kind of a filler, but not completely. And so it just makes it, you know, just kind of sets it off. And let's die cut that out right quick. There's a die cut for that. Yes, there is. Get my gray. Get my paper. And now let me get that die cut for that flower. Okay, and this end and this end is an indentation. So if you can find where you want to put those indentions, I think it's like right here. This is so funny. I'm gonna have to figure out a better way, huh? There we go. There it is. Well, let's see. Let's see what it looks like here. Got the two together. Got the one little mark right there. Aha. There we go. Now you just line it up and hold it down until you can get your other plate sitting on top. And that's not it. Okay, I think that one is it. That's it right there. Get your other plate sitting on top. I don't have a magnetic plate because they do not have one for the small one. Okay. Hold that down and then run it through. Oops, that just came right on out. Perfect. Okay, so now let's get going. I'm going to need some splatters on my card. And those splatters are going to be fresh fuchsia color. So let me make sure my block is clean. Hey, I've got 2 people watching. How are y'all? Let me know who you are. I can see comments. Here we go. I'm going to use the splatters and fresh fuchsia. We're making cards with color and contour today. Now what I usually do is I set this right here and I go ahead and stamp on it even though it's not adhered down, because I want to have the splatters running off, but it's okay to have them on this flower as well. There we go. And I want them out like that, so that's perfect. And I've got splatters on my flower. And let's see, on the inside of this card, I've got splatters over in the corner. So I see 2 people are watching, but I don't know who you are. I would love for you to just say hello. There we go. Get this right here. I like a lot of splatters, so there. All right. So now we are going to get our ribbon. And hey, Karen Robinson. And I'm going to put ribbon right here, but I've got to open up. There we go. The ribbon. So what I'm going to do, oh, not on here, on this one, I am going to do my little cheat and put some seal right there, because this won't be seen, the flower will be on top of it. And then I'm going to do this. And a couple more loops. There we go. So Karen, you got home, got the dogs all situated. Okay, I need a little more adhesive just right here. Now this flower will be covering the adhesive, so you won't be seeing that, which that's fine. I love these colors together. So, okay, now I'm going to, now that I've got that on there, I'm going to use my old olive, and I have a image of partial leaf. It's just a little squiggly. I love the way the artist did their work on that. And the reason why I'm doing that after the ribbon is so that you can see where to put it, where to put your leaves, because you want this to come out from the flower. You don't want your flower here and then the leaves be several inches away. Then on the inside of the card, I have a leaf image just right there. Then we're going to take our old olive blend, and we are just scribbling. Because it's a watercolor wash, you're not going to fill in completely. Same thing here. And the reason why is because your flower is not solid, so you don't want that to be solid. So we're going to put that down right there with our dimensionals. Now I'm going to put a dimensional on each side, but I'm not going to put it in the middle because it will bulk over the ribbon. You don't want to bump. So we're going to do like so. How about that? So now that part is done. We need to get our Orchid Oasis ink and the sentiment that says, "You are amazing," or you're absolutely amazing. Okay. Yes. There we go. I love this die cut. It's also in the coloring contour. So get your dimensionals, and on something like this I would do 3. And then we're going to put it right here at the bottom. Now it is white on white, which to me I think that is just really a simple, beautiful look. It looks, you know, clean lines. Okay, we'll get our card base over here and finish off the top like this, like so. And then we will put this on the inside. And then we will finish that off with the iridescent embellishments. I'm going to take your pick tool here. Make it easier on myself this time. There we go. Alrighty. And so card number 2 is finished. I hope you liked that one. Let's get the example. Put it over here. Now card number 3, we're going to have die cutting on it also. I really like it too. But you will get in your card pack 2 of each card. So six cards. And don't forget, with this particular card kit, you will also get the 48 sheets of 6x6 Flowers and More Host DSP, designer paper. So this particular card has 2 different scallops. We've got the largest size and then the next size. And so I cut those out and really like this color. It's gray granite. It's not brown. It's not gray. Just kind of right there in the middle. So it takes up the whole card front. And we also have this next size of basic white. And I wanted to do that because it just framed the card so pretty. I'm not going to show you the card beforehand because just the outcome is just so pretty. You're just going to have to wait to see what the final product looks like. Unless you've seen the picture, I do have this on a blog post on my notes from patience.com. So here is the next layer. And then this next layer, I'm actually putting up on dimensionals. Give it a little pop up here. And it is going to go centered right there. So far, the card's looking so pretty. So for this particular card, we're going to go back to this image, and that's the full image of the flower and the stem. And we're going to use our Memento Black. And I'm going to offset this over to the side because I have a sentiment on here. And the sentiment says, thank you for everything. You know, you've just got some of those people in your life that they're there. And so this card could be a thank you for picking the kids up from school. You know, thank you for listening to me complain. You know, thank you for meeting me at the exit. You know, so the next thing I want to do is we've got to color this now. So I'm not going to have any splatters on this, but I am going to use Petal Pink, which when Petal Pink first came out, I thought, oh, I just can't get behind that color. I'm going to wash my stamp because I'm not sure what color I used with it last. But I really like Petal Pink now. So Petal Pink is looking good. So we're going to stamp that full strength. I'm not going to stamp off. Just going to stamp it right there. And just remember, it's not a complete fill-in kind of stamp. Okay. So I'm going to get my Old Olive blend. It's the light blend. And when you purchase these, they come in a combo pack. So you can get a dark and a light. But I only needed the light. And we're going to do like we did last time. Just going to brush on a little bit of color. Not going to fill it in. We're just brushing it on. Okay. And now that's it. We're ready to layer this up on the card. I saved the easiest card for last, I believe. Ooh, I need to look on the inside, see if I put anything in there. All right, how is that? Oh yes, on the inside, wouldn't it look good if we put this little bud out here? Just a little bud. And then of course that bud needs some color. Get my Petal Pink ink. And just a little green. Here we go. Now, the only thing this card needs is a little bit of pearl, iridescent pearls. And I just think adding, usually people say 3, but on this card, I'm going to add a few more. I'm going to add 5. Because I like the way it looks. And this is my card. So, if you place an order with me from now until the 16th, you will get a card kit with a color PDF. And it will have a PDF on how to make these cards. It'll show you how to make this extra fun fold. Thank you, Karen. I really like it too. I like this fun fold. I like the way it turned out for me. And you can make a fun fold where you have like a belly band that you could slide off. I think that would be pretty too. But I liked that. And so you'll get all the supplies you need to make these 6 cards. You will not get stamped images, so you will need that stamp set and the die cut set. Because everything used in here is from the contour, color and contour, or I'm sorry, these are scallop dies. And these scallop dies, hey Gail, I'm so glad you joined me. So these dies are sticking around. This whole stamp set and everything will be here for another year. But don't wait, because they've got a sale going on. Now this is an extra card that I made with the Flowers and More paper. So what I was saying is, if you ordered $50 or more in my store, you're going to get 48 sheets of 6x6 Flowers and More designer series paper. And this was a host set. You could only get it when you spent $150 or more. And so I am lucky enough to have some extra paper. And so tomorrow I will also be posting another card used with this paper and this same step set. Tomorrow night, or maybe tomorrow afternoon, I'm not quite sure, I'm going to be doing a live walkthrough the catalog and let you know everything that is retiring. And right now we're having a last chance sale. If it's retiring, it's there, it's on sale. It's like Ranunculus Romance. I've used that stamp set just a couple of times, but guess what? It's retired. It's gone. So if they still have this in stock, you can get it, and you can get it for up to 60% off. So I have a link on my, oh no, I don't have a link. I do have a host code on my website at notesfrompatience.com. So that is what I have tonight. Let me get this camera up and out of the way. See if I can get it up and out of the way and out of my face. Okay. And so that's what I have tonight. I really appreciate you joining me. Thank you for the comments. And if you get a chance, share the video. I would love for you to share it. If you share it, and I will send you a card made with the stamp set. So there's a little button on your comments where it says share. And if you share that, I can get your address and I will send you a card made with this stamp set. So I'm really excited. I really like this card. I like the way it turned out. It's an easy stamp set. So, okay, that's all I have tonight. I appreciate you joining me. Been here for almost an hour. Now, tomorrow when I do the video of the catalog walkthrough, it will be an hour because there are a lot of things retiring because they took away some colors and they added some colors. Can't show you the colors they've added. But now, what did I do with that new catalog? Oh, here it is. It's in the floor. I've already thrown it in the floor. Anyway, if you are a demonstrator, you probably are going to get your catalog just any day. If you need a catalog and you've ordered with me, you will be getting one. If you need it spiral bound, it's going to be $7 or $8 because the prices have gone up on that. So just let me know, and I appreciate you guys joining me. Thank you so much. Y'all have a great evening. Bye-bye.